We've replaced soap operas, and so now we are the soap opera.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of On Display. So today I have one of my favorite girls in the house. She was part of the heartbreaking finale on the latest season of The Traitors. And you also know her from the Shahs of Sunset. So ladies and gentlemen, I have with me Miss Mercedes Javid. And as you guys love to call her, MJ. I got MJ. What's up, girlfriend?
You are so amazing. Hi.
Hi, cutie.
I just watched you this morning.
Oh, you did? Are you all caught up on the Real Housewives, or what's the deal with you watching Jersey this season so far?
I am watching and I am all caught up. Yes.
Okay, so there's only been like 3 episodes so far, but tell me what you're thinking.
I feel like really bad that Teresa has dragged the show to this horrible level. I feel it reminds me of like when Shaw's was like, like you can't get through to certain people because they just are, so far gone and there's no like, you know, like reaching them, and so it feels like that. I don't like to see the scenes with her and Louis. I feel like who else is it? I don't like Jen Aiden. Like I try, but then it's just really hard because she's so mean to people, and that's my biggest thing. But I love seeing you. I love seeing our girl Dolores, and I love seeing Margaret Josephs. And I know that Jennifer, what the new girl, tell me her name again.
Rachel, Danielle, or Rachel, or
No,
Jen Fessler?
Jen Fessler is what I was gonna say. So my friends are also glam. Like my really, really good friends also do glam, right? So
Right.
one of them is going to do Jen Fessler this weekend. I'm interested in her, how open she was about how much work she got done, right? She was very, very open about getting a big makeover from the last season to the current season, right?
Yes, she's actually open to it. And by the way, I gave her the glam she should use in LA this weekend because I was supposed to be out there for this gig and then I'm going to be traveling. So she's going she's going. Who's your girlfriend that's doing her glam?
So
I
it's
feel like,
Brandon Liberati.
Brandon's doing okay, because she originally was using someone else I gave her. I don't know if it like fell through or what
Oh,
happened.
maybe.
This girl, Liz, was, well, you know what? Brandon does hair. I think Liz is doing her makeup.
Oh, so I haven't heard of this name, Liz. Maybe I should try her if she's in LA and
Oh my
stuff.
God, she's amazing. She does a lot of Olivia Coppolo. Did I say that right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
She does her, she does Vanessa Lacey all the time. She's great with like, I don't know. I think she's awesome. I'll give you her number.
Can I pull a favor with you right now? Do you know who would die to do your glam?
Who?
My girl Darian, who has done my glam every single time I'm in New York. Whenever Carolyn wasn't able to do somebody like for Watch What Happens Live, Carolyn Makeup Time, the one that's with Andy all the time,
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so I found her because of Brandon, and she's like, I would really like to do Melissa, and I know you guys are friends, and but the thing is that I had Teresa on my page, and I was like, you know what? Like, I would love to, in a very subtle way, suggest you because she does like beautiful, like guest model details, like where the brow has like this natural, and she does really natural work. So,
Ooh.
anyway,
Wait, she's here in New York?
yeah, she's based in New York. She's really good.
Okay. So DM me when we're done and like send
Okay.
me her page and because I love to try new people when it comes to glam. I really do and I like to rotate my glam. I feel like I get stuck in a rut. Like I like to switch it up and I have like 3 people that I love that I kind of just like depends the mood I'm in for the look that I'm in. That's kind of
Definitely.
who I go.
Definitely, because you also don't want someone to get comfortable. And shout out to all the artists that are listening. You do get comfortable and you go into autopilot, and then
Yep.
and we feel shitty because we don't want to tell you something because you've already been doing our glam for so long that then, it's like you kind of stop doing the thing that made us fall in love. You know, it's kind of like
Exactly. They get, you know what happens? They get too comfortable. Sorry, girls, I love you all, but like
Mhm.
they get comfortable, they throw it on, they know we're gonna like it, but like we want to be like sometimes you want to bust out on a carpet and you want people to be like, "Oh my God, her makeup. Holy
Totally.
shit." You know, so
Those are
but
the
don't you
things.
don't I don't know about you, but I do call my glam out and they know me for it. I do in a very nice way, but like I'm known to like text a photo after and be like, "Hi, so did you see I was like a little blotchy on my forehead or like my under eye had like way too lately? Oh my God, as I get older, if they come near me, MJ, with powder, I freak out.
Oh my God.
Take the powder and shove it where the shut. Like, I don't want to see no, like,
I,
very little powder under my eyes these days. I don't want a lot of powder under my eyes. I'm like phasing powder out.
I gotta tell you, I couldn't agree more because it dries and sucks. There is a really good one that is a godsend, and of all people, Reza Farhan handed it to me when he was like, "Hey, here's a brand that wanted me to give this to you," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And it was called Flower, and it's the most incredible finishing thing that you could just put it on in the dark,
And
and
it's
you'll
not
look.
heavy.
No, I'll send it to you. I'll
Yes,
send. I'll
please do.
send you.
You have a
Uh,
lot of work to do after this. You have to send me a lot of you have to send me a lot of things. This is why I love when MJ comes on, listeners, guys, because like she's like my girlfriend. I swear. This is like a true and MJ, I mean this, and this is why you did so well on Traitors too. Like and everyone fell in love with you all over again.
Thank
You
you.
really are such a freaking girl's girl. Like when I see you, it's like we barely knew each other a lot of the time but we just like I just like you just got that thing, you
Thank
know, like
you.
you just do. And I feel like I'm kind of the same way. I'm very like down to earth. We're very just like chill humans that
Hmm.
like don't get too big for our britches or whatever you say. And
Hmm.
I love you for that. I think you're the best. You really
If,
are.
thank you. If I had a nickel for every time I was like, I would have such a good time this weekend if I was in Jersey or New York or with you guys because we have a connection. Like Dolores and I had like a 45-minute long conversation as soon as we got back from BravoCon Vegas. And I hang up and I have these lingering thoughts. Like I love my hands down favorite part of BravoCon was when I would anytime I would bump into Joey, your husband. And he was like, who is she? She's really fun. And I was like, wait, get to know me a little. If only I were closer to you guys, geographically. So yeah, it is a good time. And speaking of a lot to do, I just was thinking about you this morning because I came from a school tour because my little guy is going to start kindergarten in the fall. And
Okay.
so there's like all this paperwork, and I'm all I can think of is how disorganized I am to do like 10 jobs. So like you're a mom, you're full time, you don't do anything. This is me describing myself. I don't do anything but be a mom, but I also am a real estate agent. I do nothing but real estate. Then I also um, do a lot of radio, and I do like Radio Andy once a week and my podcast Till the Dirt, and here we are together, you and me. And then the school thing with the applications and the shots and the releases and all of these things, I'm like, in order to keep all of these things organized, and obviously I haven't mentioned everything that we've got, I just can't even imagine two, or as they get older, because it's still, I feel like having one is pretty easy, I will say.
It's not bad having I have to like agree with you on this. I don't when I look back on even these old videos like that are resurfacing because I just had like last week was my 13 it was the anniversary of 13 years that my first episode aired was like a couple days ago. So
Yeah.
I posted a clip from my first season with like little Joey in a high chair and Joe and me getting my music studio ready to sing on display and like I go back and I see this young, like 31-year-old girl, like on this TV show with three kids and like an Italian husband that needs so much attention. And I'm going to be honest, Joe needed so much attention back then. He is not like that anymore. And I do owe that to the reality show and to Bravo because he has done seriously like a 180. And I think it's from a little bit of fan reaction, like it wasn't when you're just hearing it from your wife, like, hey, you're old school, you're a freaking caveman, you need to get with the times. Like, I think you're like, he doesn't, but when you're reading it on all of these platforms and like you're getting it, and people have a way of like telling Joe, but also loving him. Like, as you know, you're not the first person who told me like their favorite part of BravoCon was whenever they
Mm-hmm.
saw Joe Gorga. Like,
Yep.
everyone says that to me
Yeah.
because he's got that thing, like you
Yeah.
just can't not love him, and you almost like excuse what he does. He doesn't. I don't know. He's just got that thing.
You understand them. Yeah.
Yeah, I go back to thinking about like, how did I do this with 3 kids? So I'm
Mhm.
actually happy you thought of me. Thank you. Because sometimes I even look back and I'm like, Jesus, Melissa, how did you do that with like not a live-in nanny? None of that was going
Right.
on in the house at the time.
Exactly. Because this morning I woke up and I was like, God damn it, I'm fucking cleaning up the kitchen. I got to do this. I got to clean up. My mom was here for a week. She just lives in Beverly Hills, but she comes over and she stays in our house for a week because we're in the valley. So whatever. So like this morning I was like, God damn. And I'm an early riser. I love and I thrive in the morning. But nonetheless, I was begrudging the time because everything is so hurried and rushed. And so I'm always like feeling like I'm on borrowed time. But to take it back to something very positive that is happening, that is beautiful to be watching on Jersey, is your family growing up and the girls getting into schools and going away. And those two, like just watching your girl and Teresa's girl going off and like having such, being so proud of them, and the fact that we got to watch them grow up and see how like they're just amazing. Like unfortunate as it is that you guys aren't in a better place, I understand how that happens because I've been through it. But the best part of the season has been like the girls and seeing them, how they're like, I know it's sad to like watch them leave the house, but like seeing them getting into
Yeah.
college, that's been amazing.
For sure. Well, I think the viewers like that too because they've watched them as little babies. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the viewers feel like, hey, we've known them since they've been running around in tutus and big bows in their head. Like, we get to see them go to college. I feel like the viewers are also like appreciative that, like, wow, you guys have really stuck through this and let us watch your whole entire life. Like, I'm like, I wonder if we'll still be here for like, hey, we're going to Antonia's wedding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how long
Probably.
does this
I
go
think
on,
so. I
MJ?
think so because we've replaced soap operas, and so now we are the soap opera that people follow, and I do care. That's why. By the way, I didn't want to dismiss Danielle, the new girls that are like full time cast members, and they've been around for the last couple of seasons. The names didn't stuck, but that doesn't mean that I was throwing shade. I like the new girls, and they are a really good fit. Like I like that the way that they really are adding so much to the show, but like it's still anchored by you guys, it's still like, and the way that you were talking about Joey, I love because about like the way it works the same with my husband. Tommy's got a lot of fans. In fact, in the school office this morning, there was someone that was like, oh my God, what are you guys doing here? And then she was fanning out, but I'm like, we're in school, right? So it's a school admissions thing. And she was like, I recognized Tommy before I recognized you. And then we get to chatting. And then I realized that if I say something to Tommy that he just, because like, this also reminds me of the last time that you and I were talking. It's a lot of husband bonding, like a lot of husband trauma bonding. He would
Yeah.
say, if I were to say something to him, he would to poo poo it and tell me like I'm being critical. But if he hears it as feedback, like he reads like all the comments and everything, then somebody else is like,
Exactly what I was. Yep.
yeah, then he's like, oh, he'll like low key implement it, or he'll send me like some video that we follow, like really good accounts where it's usually someone like a psychologist or like a life coach that's like gonna tell you like a good little anecdote, and that's
Right.
how we communicate with each other, is like via like this video clip that he appreciated, and then I can also say like, okay, that's exactly what I was talking about, motherfucker. Like it's a good thing that I found a psychologist who says it, because now it's valid. If I was saying it, I'm a hater. but that's how.
Exactly. When I say it to Joe, it's the same thing. It's kind of like, oh, whatever. Like, but when you get like when there's people for 14 years kind of agreeing with me and he gets like, it from strangers, I really feel like he really has changed a lot, like for the better. Not that he was a bad guy. He's always been a great husband, a great father, a great everything, but he had like a little bit of that old school, too much of the old school. And I also will always say that the old school in Joe is what makes him the awesome husband that he is also. I have to I'm never going to totally say that I wish he didn't have that inside, because that's what makes him as amazing and complimenting and a caregiver the way he is. But yeah, I
Exactly.
feel like the criticism
Especially
from the others is what sends it home, you know?
especially when in a generation or two, if we lose it completely, we're going to be fucked. Like we need old school. We need people who
Right.
are traditionalist, and then the woman can check the man and say like, no, this is how it is. But having the presence of that, my man is a Queens man. He's old school. I appreciate that. I don't, and I get it. I've seen the stuff that people want to see you like, like if someone comes off as like old school in a good way, or like old school, like they want to see Melissa happy. And that's just how people learn about their own marriages. They could be like, oh, let me turn on that episode, fast forward to that scene with Joe and Melissa, and now our marriage can actually improve because you're going to sit down and watch this with me and we're going to get through it together because they got through it. Like that's what we do, you know?
It's so true. And when you're real on reality TV, it allows the viewers to like vicariously live through you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that these viewers feel almost like they're watching their own daughters go to college when they go to college, right?
Yeah.
And they feel like, they feel like the marriage arguments, they relate it to what goes on in their own home. So I think we're doing the Lord's work here, MJ, don't you? Like,
Absolutely.
come
Listen,
on
honey,
now.
I love it. I mean, I think it's fun. If it wasn't for me and Tommy's pod, we would probably not have a whole hour of quality time a week, like discussing things with intention. Like it's a casual conversation, but obviously my opportunity to like bring in points and like topics. And if I want to talk about it low key, I can put it in the pod and say like, someone else wants to talk about this, but it might be my own question. Like I DM the podcast.
Yes. If starting the new year with a fast feels a little daunting, you're not alone. There's an entire community of individuals wanting to make a meaningful difference in their health, just like you. This is what makes group fasting so powerful and why I joined in on Prolong's January Fasting Challenge, a coach-led program to set you up for fasting success. Prolong's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. It all starts with their 5-day program, snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep your body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required, which is a relief after a busy holiday. Stay motivated during the challenge with guidance from top longevity and nutrition coaches, providing you the tools you need to successfully complete your fast. I just finished the Prolon 5-day program earlier this week, and wow, what a difference 5 days can make. I feel rejuvenated, lighter, and more focused, like my body hit some type of reset button. What I love most about Prolon is how easy it was with pre-packaged meals and expert guidance through the January Fasting Challenge. Plus, knowing I've started 2025 with such a meaningful step toward better health has me more motivated than ever to stick to my goals this year. If you've been waiting for a sign to kickstart your health journey, this is it. Ready to make 2025 your healthiest year yet? Order your Prolon 5-day kit at prolonlife.com/on-display and join in on their fasting challenge today. New groups start every Sunday in January. Plus, Prolon is offering On Display with Melissa Gorga listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program for your post-holiday glow-up when you go to prolonlife.com/on-display. That's PROLON life.com/on-display. On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and your auto policies. The process only takes minutes and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. I wanted to talk to you because you do have the podcast. It's called Till the Dirt, right? But
Yes.
tell my listeners, what is it about? So it's you and Tommy, your husband.
Yep, it's called Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ, and it's just us talking shit every Monday. What we just turn on the microphone, we talk about whatever we want, like if it's something big that's happening in Bravo or the news or relationship or marriage or our life, we talk about, our kid and our lives. Like it's like you said, I listen to a podcast because I want to tune in to the friend in my head. Like Wendy Williams, I think coined that phrase, but like we want to it's like a conversation when you call a girlfriend, except now it's a podcast.
Right.
So that's what Till the Dirt is.
Right. I mean, have you guys like learned anything new about each other since doing the podcast thing together? Is there like any revelations that come out about your marriage or your relationship?
Yes, I think I was really a hypocrite. Sometimes when I criticize him, I also have to learn that if I'm like, you can't complain about this being here and then this is also here. You know what I mean? It's like two of the same. So, Shervin from Shaw's, do you remember him? He's like a really good looking.
Yes.
Looks almost exactly like Mike, but he's a totally different guy. Anyway, I found out this hack because he is a gym, like he goes to the best Equinox that is in the state of California. He actually shaves there. And I was like, that is genius, because then he never has to like make a mess at home. I'm like, how many
I wish Joe would shave at the freaking gym. Oh my God. That is like the worst part of my everyday is the little hairs all over the place.
Exactly. So he's engaged and I love his fiance. So they were moving in. I helped them move into their new house. And I was like, oh, so you guys are going to share a bathroom. It's a good thing that his sink is like in a different room it's a really nice house. So she was like, yeah. And by the way, we're doing like an inspection and everything. And she's like, he never shaves at home. He always shaves at the gym. I'm like, I fucking knew he was smart. Now his like stock just went up like a zillion%. What a fucking genius,
Wait a second. That is freaking genius. Like who does it? Like the person that's like genius.
Insane.
I never even thought of that. Take a shower, shave, go on with your day. Never mess your bathroom. Men, This is what you should all be doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. Joe, I could never let Joe do that. I'll tell you why. Joe will leave work in his freaking MJ. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I get so embarrassed. He leaves work in his work boots because Joe truly has like, besides being on reality TV, is like a low down. Like he goes down. Like he goes to work in his work boots, plays in the dirt, real construction guy, and he goes to the gym sometimes in his Timberland, like in his work boots, because he's like, I forgot sneakers. I just need to get like a 30-minute pump in. And I'm like, we have a gym in the house. Like, could you picture him like no, he would never shave there because he barely even brings sneakers, let alone a razor. And I always think to myself, like, as it is, your Joe Gorga grunting in the gym because he's a grunter on top of it. He's not even like, I swear he's so embarrassing. It's not even just like there's Joe Gorga. It's like, like there's Joe Gorga in the corner. Oh, and he has work boots on. Like he literally left like work and just jumped in there in work boots, and he's moaning.
That's very niche. Like, it sounds very OnlyFans. Like it would be so perfect if he had like his camera live streaming to like an OnlyFans, and he's got his grunts in, and he's got his work boots. And I bet you anything that the people who work there are like, oh shit, Joe's coming in, get the mop, because he's going to be tracking in the construction site. And he's like,
no, for real. He's probably leaving a trail of like dirt as he walks. It's so embarrassing.
It's not at your house. I'd rather have it there than at your place. Right?
No, for sure. For sure. But speaking about fame, I want to ask you this about you and Tommy, because I did see all of this news that's coming out with, are you seeing all this shit with like J-Lo and Ben? Like, are they, I don't know. one likes fame, one does not, right? Is that's the newest thing that I just read, which I think we knew that from before in the relationship, right? I mean, what do you feel about any of this? Are you feeling like they're going to split these two, or like what's happening here?
Okay, so I don't like J Lo, and I'm really, really sorry that I'm one of those people that just has. I've loved the idea of Bennifer getting back together. I just, I didn't like. I do feel like she likes fame too much, and that is the reason why I'm like was turned off by it. Okay, I saw everything that they put out about their splitting. But remember, Melissa, how often the paparazzi would catch photos and he always looked so miserable? Because
Yes.
they always, if she controls the paparazzi and she's calling them in order for them to get the car shot.
Then he's getting annoyed that he can't get a coffee without a camera guy there.
Exactly. And so they're catching these photos. He always looks miserable. Then there's a photo where he's just going, and it's a real long lens because they caught him and Jennifer Garner, and they're having a conversation. And there's a girl who like reads lips, and she
Yep.
translates the conversation. And he looks so happy and calm. They're having conversation, and I'm like, see, so Ben is having like a really big career, his like directing, and he's blowing up, he's doing all these great things. She is not selling tickets. Her like original singers who are singing on all her tracks are coming out and saying like, yeah, that was my voice, I didn't get the credit, we wrote the song, whatever. So I'm like, this is because J Lo needs to be in the media all the time. So for me, it's a big turnoff. I am a big small town girl. I want the real life. And I believe that they're breaking up because of that. I think that if you're a
Wait,
guy,
you
you
really
have to.
think they are breaking up? You think this is happening? This is again? No, come on.
I do.
I was like, no, this can't be true.
Unless then that would mean that she wants it to just be a headline for public for PR. Neither are good.
Here's the thing. I'm going to go on the opposite spectrum. I've always loved her. I've always loved her
I know.
style. I've always loved everything. I think what's happening lately is just too much of everything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I feel like people want to miss her for a minute, and she doesn't. She's obviously a workaholic. She has
Mm-hmm.
an incredible team behind her that just gives her projects like no other. And I'm just like, but we want to miss you. Like, you know how the celebrities do that. They disappear for like a year
When
and
they
then they
have
come
to.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I feel like she's not doing the Houdini. Like it's not
Right.
happening. So like it's just the next thing. It's the next thing. It's the next thing. And people are just feeling like and probably Ben is like, can we just chill for a minute as well?
Totally.
Right. Or maybe
Totally.
just focus on like watching his projects play out while she just like is the wife next to him. Maybe that's could have something to do with it. No.
Okay, so first of all, I know that you've always been a really big fan of JLo because you guys both have an incredible like glow. But there's like you have a great body, she has a great body. You know what I mean? It's like I like the
Is
color
that
red.
why?
I like that. Like it has you guys have no overlap because I'm so fond of you and I always have been. And I think that you do amazing things. Businesswoman, television star, mother of three, amazing wife, daughter, sister, all of the things you do it amazingly well. With her, on the other hand, I feel like being on tour and doing all these things, she probably wasn't around her children a lot, and she continuously chose, her career over that. To me, that breaks my heart. It's not my vibe. And as I am impressed by what she's built as an empire, but that's just one thing. I wouldn't aspire to that personally. So, yeah, I think that there's that Ben actually does everything behind the scenes and he's living a life that he doesn't need a camera up his ass. And so either way, it's bad because she's either calling PR for a fake divorce headline or she's actually having marital troubles. Neither are good.
Right. Imagine an app designed to make you use it less. Seems counterproductive, no? Well, Apartments.com's instant alert feature works exactly that way. Instead of scanning rental listings a million times a day, simply set and forget your search to whatever you're looking for in a place and let Apartments.com do the rest. From pet-friendly apartments to balconies to in-unit ACs, Apartments.com's powerful search tools let you know when your perfect combination of features you're seeking is listed. So you don't have to power through rental descriptions one by one. With more rental listings than anywhere else, Apartments.com's instant alerts mean you can spend less time online looking for the perfect place and more time doing you. And Apartments.com has more than just apartments. They have all kinds of homes, from houses to townhouses to condos to apartments and everything in between. They've helped millions of renters find their perfect place to live, the ones that check off all their own personal boxes. So check it out. Apartments.com, the place to find a place. And you know what? I don't wish, I mean, I wish the best for them. I'll just say that. But I'm like,
Yes.
oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
believe it. Like, is there no way?
Again.
We just saw the whole video that was made to show the love of and how they had to come
Mhm.
back together. I'm like, what's happening? Is this like, it can't be real.
I honestly, I don't want bad for them either. Like, I never want someone to suffer. Whether or not I like her doesn't make her life any different. I just don't. I'm not a fan because of that showiness. I didn't like that she came home from a tour on New Year's Eve and said, "I only use olive oil," and started selling JLo Beauty. I didn't like that. I was like, you clearly don't just use olive oil, so stop it. Those are
Right.
the kind of things that get to my head, or to my in my head, about a person. But
Between you and Tommy, do one of you like the fame better?
he's kind of a ham, you know. He one time he was walking down the street, because he used to, back in the day before we met, he would ride his bicycle to work. It was like a mile away, and I thought that was really cool. Like, it was just not, it was more of like an East Coast thing than like what people do in LA. And I was like, you can't ride a bicycle, you're going to get killed. No one is watching, people are on their phones. And so but when he would be interfacing with people more and he would get recognized, you could tell he like was such a ham. So I think
He likes
that,
it. He's like a Joe Gorga because me,
yeah.
I'm more low key, believe, and a lot of people wouldn't think that about me, but I am. Like, I'm more like in quietly in the background. I want the back table. I don't
Mhm.
care to like walk around and take the pictures. Where Joe will be like, "Hey, hi guys,
Sitting.
how you doing? You want to come over? I'll make you pasta Sunday." I'm like, Jesus, Joe. Like that's like
You're
the
like,
same over here.
yeah, you're like, you're not the greeter of the restaurant. Okay, let's go to the back.
Maybe it's a guy thing. Like, why are they so? I don't get it. I mean, it's a guy thing, maybe.
I
I don't
just
know.
want, no, I think men love attention. Love attention.
I agree. And you know what, ladies, anyone listening, literally just give them attention and they're so
Hmm.
happy. Like
So
they
true.
just need a lot of attention. But I cannot let you go without talking to you about Traitors because you are
Oh
a
yeah.
freaking superstar on that show. You really were. Everyone like fell in love with you if they weren't in love with you already. You played like such a good game and you were very like quiet and that like you just stayed in your own lane. I feel like you were quiet and a lot of people like don't know how to do that. It's something that you don't see a lot of the times on that show. So, I need to know like what were you going for there? How did you manage all of that?
It's crazy. So if you're, first and foremost, I was sitting around with my friends who watched these other shows that were competition, like Survivor and Big Brother, and what was that? There's a third one, like the gamers, right? And
Yes.
they were like, well, in order to last a long time, you have to be opinionated, but you can't get involved in conflict. You can't really have a big alliance with just one group and then like let everyone think that you're too loyal to one side. So I went in and I just wanted to like last. That is what I went in with, like, let me just last as long as I can. And by, like, remember the edit, right? So of course you're filming for a whole month and then they have 12 12 episodes, 45 minutes, right? So
Right.
some of the things that you do, the way that you get to act and behave and move around your friends are not going to be shown. But I did see like the way that like I felt like it was just to be a good listener and have eye contact when someone is talking to you so that they feel like you're connecting with them. And the worst thing to do is, I think, look past somebody or like look around a room. Like, have you been in a party where like someone is asking you a question, but then
And
they,
they're staring
before,
at like who's going to walk in the door or
yes.
yes.
Yeah, and I don't even feel bad. I know that's like a problem. It's some people who just get sensory overload and they don't know how to be. I was able to be calm enough, and all the downtime, like you get off the airplane and there's somebody that is your producer for the entire month that's like, "Hey, MJ," and I loved my guy and the crew was amazing. But I was like, "Oh my God, how does he know me?" And then I was like figuring it out. Oh, he's gonna go back into my hotel room with me. We're gonna wait for the security guard. He's gonna take all of the cords, every single thing, my watch, my passport, my wallet, everything is gonna go. The medication that, including like your vitamins that you get at CVS, is all gonna be given to the nurse. Then you're gonna spend like the next 3 days meeting people one by one, and you're not gonna leave the room, and there's gonna be a little black thing on your door. So you do have to be mentally fit for that type of a thing. And then the next day when you would get to breakfast, you genuinely didn't know if you were who you were going to see, because they drive you separate, they feed you separate, you do everything in like a sequestered jury, like OJ Simpson trial, sequestered. And then you're just waiting to know if you're going to go into the room where they give you the letter to go home, or if you're going to go to the room where they're going to say, go downstairs and knock on the door and say hi to everybody. And then, by the way, when you say hi to everybody, you're noticing who's there, who's not there, and you're doing the math. And then you see the wall with all of the people that are there and have been X'd out. And you're just trying to figure out, does that person look conspicuous? Did they get, recruited as a murderer last night? Is this person acting the same way that they were the other day? What, all these things are like moving parts. So, I just tried to like be real. And as soon as I noticed someone like Dan, I said it, but then after that, I laid off, because then it was everybody else's turn to like jump on it. That's why you don't get murdered, because you know how to say something and then stay back in your lane and let those people think that there's an allyship. Like, for instance, Dan, he was like, she did call me out, but then after she called me out, after that, she spent more time talking to me one on one, because, like, you're being open minded. I already told you I think you could be a traitor. And now he's banking on me trying to have like he's trying to prove himself to me that he's not a murderer or a traitor.
Right.
So then I would just take it all in, and then I would be with everybody one by one, and however the opportunity presented itself organically. So.
You did it amazing. I mean, you played that game, but can I tell you the hardest part, like that I always think about, and this is what I'm more curious about even than the show, the behind the scenes of it all. Like, you were not freaking out like, so people come to me all the time when I have them on the podcast, like, you should be on Traitors, you should do Traitors, this, that, and the other
Yes,
thing.
you should.
MJ, I don't think I could put my cell phone down. Like, how often could you call your husband and your child? Be honest. Like, what did they really do?
Do you want to know that about a week and a half or two in, they allowed me to call and say hi. It was a supervised call,
Wait.
but my
After a week, you had no communication for 1 week with anyone on a cell phone?
and change. Yeah, they take your phone when you
Wow.
get off the airport. So yeah, so like they
No
know
way.
if something were to happen on their end, your husband is gonna contact them, and God forbid. And then
Right.
if you wanted to, if you were to have, there were like divas on set that were like, oh my God, no, I can't. Like, I need to call so and so, whatever. So if they made a big stink about it, then they would allow it. I called my husband once and I asked them to put Shams on FaceTime. So, and at the time he's like 4 years old. He didn't care. He was just wanted to play.
He was
So
like, "Hey,
I
mommy," and like
lost it.
whatever.
Yeah, total whatever. Like, I was like, just so
Oh,
shattered that I hung up at that night and I couldn't function. And I was like, fuck, the next time everyone sees me, they're going to think I got recruited as a traitor because my whole vibe is different. And the reality is, I had a bad call with my
with
son
your
just
son.
ignoring me. And so I was like, after that, I was like, I don't need to call anybody. I don't need to call anybody. I'm good. And that was
See,
it.
I just don't think I can do that part of it. And then you don't, so when you're done filming for the day, you go into your room by yourself, you have dinner by yourself. Is there a TV in there? Do you watch TV? Like, what do you do? What did you do all night?
Girl, the TV does not have a remote because people can log on to their YouTubes and their whatever. So they take the television and they program it just for us to have like CNN, BBC, and like some ratchet channel that is like maybe you get to watch some, I don't know, whatever.
See, that would put, I would be mentally insane from the behind, like not even the show. I could handle that show, right? I can handle the
Hmm.
people. It would be the stress that I was going through, not knowing where the kids are or being able to like call Joe. And like, I'm
Yeah.
so crazy with Joe. We're so used to like constant contact that I feel like I would not be a good player just because I was losing my mind over not having any outside like contact.
Yeah, you have so for me I think it was easier because my I trusted that my kid is going to go to school and come home and his schedule is like I trust my husband. I'm not worrying about my 16-year-old driving because I would probably just not do the show if my like
Right.
kid got his
Right.
driver's license that year. And then the rest of it is like you're just checking out for like what might be one day because I didn't know it was going to be that long because I didn't know if I was going to like turn around and come home or last longer. And so you're kind of doing this like one day at a time and I'm here to do this. Let me try. It kind of feels like summer camp,
Yeah,
and
you have to
then
put yourself in that mindset too before even going. Like, this is what it is. I'm going to have no
mhm.
communication for how long is it? Like, total, if you stay in there?
Shy of a month, a couple days shy of a month.
Okay, so there it goes. Like, I'm never doing traders. It's never happening. It's just
No,
never
what
gonna.
if you do traders and you make it almost to the end and listen, it's not bad. I really think it's really good. I liked it. I wouldn't want to do it twice, but
I know, but it's just not for my type of like I can't physically do. Like I just don't think I can do it. Like maybe if I had
yeah,
one child and he was
yeah.
4, I think it would be a different, but like I don't think I can handle it. Like I don't know. I just feel like that really sucks because I've spoken to them at Peacock and everything and I could like definitely possibly do it at one point, but I just don't think it's for me. I can't believe I'm saying this, but like I just would
Well,
die of a heart attack.
maybe maybe if your kids are in college, then you would do it.
It would be different. I just have to leave Joe out there in the streets for a month. No, no.
Well, but don't even think of it as a month. Just think of it as like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then once you get there, like if you really don't want to do it, you're not going to be stuck.
Yeah,
You
but
could
no, I'm in it to
easily,
win it. If I'm doing it,
well,
I am doing. I'm very competitive, MJ. Like if I'm in it, I
can I
need to
tell
win it.
you, I didn't, I had control to vote CT out and then I could have won. But I didn't want to vote CT out because I didn't have the gamer mentality. I was more of like, I'm a human from Bravo. Like Bravo people, we don't fuck people over.
Right.
We're like,
We
I'm a
stick
moral
together.
person. So therefore I didn't go to win. I went to be like a faithful, not a traitor. So
Right.
I'm glad that you have it. And maybe you would absolutely go to the end when the timing's right. The show is
Well,
hot. It's gonna last. It's gonna be around for a while,
oh yeah,
hopefully.
it's killing it. It's killing it. It's awesome. And you made it so much better. And Jay, I know I've said this a million times. You're such a girl's girl, and I absolutely loved catching up with you.
Thank
I hate that
you.
we have to be quick today. I have like a little bit of a heart out, but I love you. Good luck with
I
the
love you more.
podcast. You
Thank
are
you.
like so much fun. And the podcast, guys, is called Till the Dirt. So
Yes.
good luck with all of that. And hopefully I see you soon. DM me all of these people that I need to know.
Yes.
Okay. Ciao. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey moms, have you ever felt like there's more to motherhood than what we're told? Then you need to check out our podcast, Moms Ask Why. Hosted by Chelsea Jules and Brittany Whitney, Moms Ask Why dives deep into the tough questions surrounding motherhood. Our mission? To educate, inspire, and empower moms like you to take charge of your children's health. With real talk, expert insight, and actionable advice, this is the podcast every mom needs in her playlist. Because sometimes the best way to be a great mom is to ask why. Follow, rate, and review Moms Ask Why now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Pluto TV is the place for movie fans like me.
And TV fans like me.
They've got something for everyone, and it's totally free.
You can binge laugh-out-loud sitcoms like Frasier.
And rewatch cult classics like Higher Learning.
Whether you're in the mood to solve a little crime before bedtime with NCIS or Tracker.
Or curl up with a surefire hit like Forrest Gump.
Run, Forrest! Pluto TV has thousands of movies and shows, all for free.
Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.